Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Zed. Today, we're going to be talking about Lucid Motors, previously known as CCIV and now trading under its own ticker as LCID. So Lucid Motors, this one, we did talk about it multiple times before. Today, we're going to be bringing mainly technical analysis, but we're going to try to take a look a bit more into the news. And without further ado, let's jump right into this one. So my last video is in the description below. Let's jump into the news part and try to find anything that we can find that we haven't covered before. Now the presentation I did cover it in the previous videos, but we do have new postings for careers. The list is massive. Bunch of managers, bunch of engineers, autonomous, everything in between, including in also accountings and everything in between. Really digital, senior DevOps engineers, senior software engineers, big data scientists, senior web developers, agile manager, which I've never heard before, but I'm pretty sure it does exist. Design release engineer, hardware engineer, intern in the loop, and they're always hiring. The list really goes on really far and deep into how many people they're hiring. So that's something to think of. In terms of the press releases, the last one we do have was on the July 26th date. They're fairly not late on news, but before that, July 23rd. The last one was July 9th, and before that was February 22nd. So they're definitely not, there's not a lot to talk about in terms of news, but I would rather have a company that is actually doing the work than mentioning every 5 minutes that they're going to do the work. So that's definitely something to think about. SEC filings, we have a bunch of them on the 27th. Nothing we haven't covered before, but I noticed from that 27th, it uncovered some insiders and institutional buyers activity. So on the institutional buyers, we thought there was going to be only additions going on for the major part, and then we find that back, and this was a little bit kind of put in May. A lot of these companies started exiting, and that could be because the stock plummeted from where it was in the highs and went down to around almost $20. So let's take a look into some of the companies and some of the names that liquidated. Citadel Advisors for one. You got Morgan Stanley around here as well, who they reduced their shares by 84%. You got Goldman Sachs as well, right around here. You're able to see that multiple different companies, a big part of it as well, who just really exited this entire thing. Silver Rock, Blue Crest, and a bunch of others. So that is something to think about. A lot of these companies didn't really go ahead and invest for nothing. They believed in it, and there's a reason why they left. And my anticipation is the high volatility and them believing that the entire retail industry, entire retail part of stock trading and investing is most likely inflating this price up. But from what we see right now, it's not really trading at that inflated prices. It's actually higher when they were sold. They probably sold anywhere in the month of May from $23 to all the way to $17. Currently is at $23.72. So if they held, they would have definitely held a better price, at least at $30. So, well, their loss. If you'd like to see more contents like this though, make sure to subscribe and leave notifications on. Also, don't forget to drop a like to this video, and don't forget to join our Discord server, totally free, in the description below. Now, in terms of insiders, we do have a bunch of awarded shares for a bunch of people, and that is anticipated for this one. In terms of short volumes are steady around 36 to 38% of all the entire volume a day is going to the short side. So that's something definitely to think about. Short volumes are high relating towards this one. The short float appears to be reported almost at 17%, but just keep in mind, Tesla had a massive short volume at the start, and a lot of people wanted Tesla to fail. And Lucid might be going on through the exact same path, where it does prove a lot of people wrong. Now, in terms of Twitters and everything between, there's a lot of activity relating towards this one. So that's something interesting to take a look at, is that retail is eyeing this one. Lucid Motors also is really active on different interviews for their CEO, and they're really trying to get that attention out. But before moving on to technical analysis, we need to take a look into any other SEC filings just once more, and you get to see that we don't have any here, but we're able to go to CCIV back and check the SEC filings under that ticker. And when we're taking a look under that CCIV ticker and SEC filing, which is very important because not everything was reported as LCID, you're able to see that there's nothing new we haven't uncovered before. And in terms of technical analysis, taking a look into the 1 month, 1 day perspective, you're starting to see that the MACD is negative, and it is somewhat of a bigger histogram than we would like it to be, but it did attempt that positive reversal on the 27th and got rejected. So we might actually be even going to a positive reversal sometime next week, or an accumulation hopefully. Now, in terms of the RSI and the William percent R, they're all very much the same thing. You're able to see that this one is sitting closer to the oversold level. But there are really interesting things to think of. So before going on towards all the Fibonacci stuff, I really need to show you here on this lines that I'm going to be drawing. This is called a box plot. And this box or box pattern. So what you get to see here is that the stock does raise up, gets into this pattern, almost hits some sort of top. So that top could be actually as well somewhere around here, and then bounces right down as you get to see, and then jumps once more back up, and you get the picture. It goes back down and then back up, and it continues doing so as every resistance and support of these two are insanely strong, and currently it's being tested towards the bottom. So that level around $21 to $22, you might anticipate a really strong bounce back up. So that's something to really think about. It's a strong trend nonetheless. So moving on now towards the Fibonacci retracements, we're able to see, based on the Fibonacci retracements, key support levels and resistances that a lot of high frequency traders, for instance, use it. So the current resistance for this one is sitting at 30.68, then 37.21, 43.73, 51.81, and finally the 64.86 level. The current supports, a very strong support, is sitting at 21.39, followed down by the $10 level. Now, another thing we need to take a look at is just trade resistances and supports. The current support level is at 22.74. Below there, you're looking at that $22 one. Below there, a very strong one at 20.33, followed by 18.63, followed by 17.42. The resistances here, you're seeing a very strong resistance sitting closer towards the 23.87. Above there, 26.92, above there around 29.19, going upwards to around 32.60, and then upwards to around 35.15, and then we start seeing the massive numbers all the way to 50s and 30s. Comes to the question to Ed, what do you think about this one? I really think that this one has a really strong potential in the EV market and EV space, and I do think that this one will definitely be $100 in the next 3 years. The reason why I'm putting this vast blanket is, even with the market crashes and that is continuously anticipated, I think it would still be able to reach that $100 within the next 3 years. Now, the quick question here is, will it drop further, and what's going to happen? Now, definitely this is a very interesting pattern. If it does drop and break below this pattern, it easily could go down to the $20 level or the $19 level, and if it does break that resistance, the first resistance after there you're seeing is around almost the $30 level, and then you can easily see 35, and if it does break 35, I'm not even sure where it's going to go. It might go to 100 in the next few months then. So what do you think about the sticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like, and have a wonderful day. Now, if you're still here on this video, make sure to drop down below and join our Discord. We have a lot of different things going on, including, for instance, members that gives picks for free. It's not pump and dumps, we just things we think about, swings, etc. We also have really exciting bots. You can actually use those ones. For instance, we're just testing out this bot, for instance, that gives you Fibonacci resistance points, activities, etc. And we have a bunch of free things, totally free. We run on tips here, and you can ask me questions, suggest stocks, etc. It's a really nice community that has been growing up very fast at a very good rate, and it's totally free. If you would like to join that one, feel free to do so in the description below, and have a wonderful day.